In today's video, we are taking a look at Joe Biden's approval rating, why it is so low, and how this could impact the 2022 midterm elections or 2024. So as you can see right now on your screen, Biden has a approval rating of 38.4% and a disapproval rating of 56.4%. His net approval rating is negative 18%, which is really bad, even if you compare it to some historically unpopular presidents, such as Donald Trump. Right here you can see Biden's at 39%. His approval rating is at 38.4%. Trump at this moment in time in his presidency was at 42.1%. And looking at the net approval, Biden is doing about 7 points worse than Donald Trump at this moment in time, which is definitely very bad. Especially considering that when Trump took office, you can see that when Trump took office, like the day he took office, he was at a 45% approval rating, and it just dipped right after, just a couple days after he took office, while Joe Biden's approval rating started up strong at 53%, then went up to 55%, did not change much in the first 2 months of his presidency. His disapproval rating did come up a little bit, but I mean, this is typically what happens after the honeymoon period, in which people start to disapprove of a president. But it didn't look too bad for Biden, as he was about 50% in terms of his approval rating. But around the August 27th period, in which the Afghanistan crisis started to happen and all that started to unravel, Biden was then down at around at the start of September, and then things just went crashing down for the president, as he is right now at 38.4%, a historic low for Joe Biden in his presidency. And looking at the recent polls here, over the last 7 polls, there hasn't been a poll that shows him over 40% in his approval rating, which is again very negative. And of course, his approval rating is lower than any other president at this moment in time, only about the same as Jimmy Carter, which really is very bad. Now, the reasons that causes this is really two. First of all, inflation, and second of all, gas prices, which is sort of caused by the COVID-19 pandemic that the US has gotten out of, but also is still hurting the economy, and the Ukraine war and crisis, which is making inflation very high and gas prices even higher. Looking at the United States gas prices right here, you can see that from some states such as California, gas prices are as high as $6.08, while going to a state like Texas, the numbers are significantly lower, but it's still very high. If you look at a state like California, for instance, a county like I know is at Monmouth County is at $7.16 per gallon, which is extremely high as well. And in some areas of Los Angeles, gas prices could be as high as $9 a gallon, which is just insane. And really, when drivers go to their gas pumps, this is definitely hurting Biden's approval rating, as Trump's when Trump left office, the national gas price average was about $2.50. Right now, it's almost $4.70. So the numbers almost doubled within less than 2 years, which is obviously not a good thing. As well as that, inflation is also high within the United States. As you can see, in about July or June 2021, inflation was about 5%. Now it's over 8%, so that pretty much, from 5% to 8%, that is basically a 60% increase in actually less than a year, which is obviously not good. And looking at this, of course, you can't really blame Biden for all of this, because there's the Ukraine war going on, and then there's COVID, which is still taunting the economy. But when things go wrong, you have to blame someone, and that someone is always the president, no matter how much responsibility they should hold. So, and yeah, this is looking very bad for Joe Biden. And you can see for the state-by-state approval rating, Biden is only up by 10 states, and is down in 40 states. Some states like Oregon, New Jersey, Virginia, or Connecticut disapproves of the president. That was not always the case. Especially if you move back a year ago, just a year ago, you can see so much more green on this map. Louisiana and Mississippi, for Biden's now approval, they were states that voted for Trump by 15 and 25 points. They still had a net approval for Joe Biden of 0%, meaning they did not disapprove of Joe Biden. Texas approved of Biden by 6. Looking at right now, currently speaking, Biden is down 15 points in the state of Texas. Even in some deep red states, for example, Kansas only disapproved of Biden by 2. Looking at right now, it disapproves of Biden by 25. Even the reddest states in the United States, Wyoming, from the disapproved 47 right now, about a year ago, it disapproved of Biden by 37. Going to North Dakota, it disapproved of Biden by 11 in March of 2021. Now it disapproves of Biden by 47. So it's really looking not very good for Joe Biden and his administration. And talking about all this, what does it necessarily have an impact on the midterms of? Well, looking at the generic ballot, it's actually kind of surprising that really it did not change that much. Again, right now Republicans are up by about 2, and Democrats were up by about 4 in April 3rd. That being said, you do need to take these results with a grain of salt, as there's still a lot of undecided voters, which could definitely swing the midterms. Looking at this, Republicans, their increase have basically flatlined over the past 6 months. Democrats had a lead right around the November period. From Democrats leading to about 2 points to Republicans leading by about a point or so. And yeah, so look at this graph, you can't really tell that much of what impact it has on the midterms, and many of the polls you can see a R+8 here, a even poll here, and then a D+6 and D+7 poll here and there. So again, the polls are not super consistent, but it's likely not going to have a good impact on the midterms. For the Democratic Party, again, looking at this, doesn't necessarily have a 30+ point impact on the midterms? Definitely not. But is this going to be good news for the Democratic Party? Absolutely not either. So thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and see you guys all tomorrow, and bye.